India's geopolitical situation demands a strong and well-balanced military, including a capable air force, army, and navy. Being surrounded by adversarial neighbors like China and Pakistan, along with its strategic location in the Indian Ocean, underscores the need for robust defense capabilities. The Indian Army and Navy are growing stronger day by day, especially the Navy, which has embraced the Make in India initiative, and most of its new platforms are being built domestically. The Navy is bolstering its submarine fleet with advanced platforms like the Kaveri-class submarines and ongoing projects including SSBNs and SSNs. The Indian Navy's Project 75I aims to expand submarine capabilities further by incorporating foreign collaboration for air-independent propulsion systems. The commissioning of INS Vikrant, India's first indigenously built aircraft carrier, marked a significant milestone. Plans for a second carrier similar to Vikrant, and a third, potentially larger nuclear-powered vessel, are under exploration. Indigenous programs like the Visakhapatnam-class destroyers, stealth frigates, and advanced patrol vessels are strengthening the Navy's surface fleet. However, shifting focus to the Indian Air Force reveals a starkly different picture. The IAF is grappling with a major challenge, a steady decline in its fighter squadron strength. With just 31 squadrons currently in service, the lowest since 1965, Indian Air Force falls far short of the sanctioned strength of 42 squadrons, a number critical to handle potential two-front war scenarios against China and Pakistan. This shortfall is exacerbated by the phase-out of aging aircraft like the MiG-21 and Jaguar, which have long exceeded their intended lifespans. Unfortunately, retirements are outpacing the induction of new fighter jets, widening the capability gap. The 42 squadron goal was envisioned in 1962 following the Sino-Indian War, when the inadequacies of India's defense capabilities were laid bare. Yet, even this target, set in the 1960s, may be inadequate by today's standards. Pakistan fields 20 squadrons comprising around 450 aircraft, including F-16s, JF-17 Thunder, Mirage 3 and 5, and other Chinese-origin aircraft like the J-7. Reports suggest that Pakistan could operate a fifth-generation fighter jet even before India. Additionally, Pakistan has acquired modern force multipliers, such as airborne early warning and control systems like the SAB 2000 and ZDK-03, and in-flight refueling capabilities to extend the operational range of its fighters. While India has qualitative superiority with aircraft like the Rafale and Su-30 Mki, it needs significantly more squadrons, at least 25 to 30 squadrons as minimum, to dedicated to the region. And for the two-front war situation, India needs to revise its long-term planning to aim for 60 to 65 squadrons, considering modern threats and attrition rates. One of the IAF's hopes for modernization, the Tejas Mark 1A, has been hampered by delays in critical components. A deal for 99 F404 engines with General Electric was signed in 2021, but disruptions in delivery schedules have slowed Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's production timelines. These delays are a stark reminder of India's dependence on foreign suppliers for critical defense components. While initiatives like the Kaveri engine project and collaborations with global manufacturers aim to address this dependency, these efforts require consistent funding and long-term, strategic planning to bear fruit. Limited defense budgets are another constraint. Balancing priorities across the armed forces has led to delays in acquiring new platforms, forcing the Indian Air Force to stretch the operational life of its older aircraft. This is compounded by India's slow procurement processes, where bureaucratic hurdles often delay replacements beyond the planned lifespan of the outgoing fleets. To bridge the gap, the IAF has undertaken extensive upgrades of its older aircraft like the MiG-21, Jaguar, and Mirage 2000, enhancing their avionics and weapon systems to extend their utility. While these upgrades are cost-effective in the short term, they cannot fully offset issues like structural fatigue and obsolescence. India's expertise in maintaining and refurbishing older aircraft has helped mitigate immediate capability gaps, but this approach is not without risks. Aging aircraft are costly to maintain, and their reliability in combat scenarios diminishes over time. The MiG-21, for instance, has earned the grim nickname Flying Coffin due to its high crash rate, a result of repeatedly extending its service life. Unlike the Navy, the IAF still relies heavily on imported systems. The Navy successfully leverages domestic shipyards, but the IAF has struggled with HAL's limited capacity to meet its production targets. The MRFA deal, which aimed to acquire 114 advanced jets for the Indian Air Force, appears to be facing significant obstacles, potentially rendering it practically unviable for now. Despite multiple contenders, including Dassault, Boeing, Saab, and others, no final decision has been made. The IAF acknowledges the situation and prioritizing the maintenance of current assets and ensuring personnel are properly trained. Establishing additional production lines and involving the private sector can help increase output. Adding cost-effective options like the Gripen E might close some gaps. However, accelerating the production of aircraft like the Tejas Mark 1A, as well as future models such as the Tejas Mark II and the AMCA, must be fast-tracked. Now there are some promising developments regarding India's Kaveri engine program. The Kaveri engine has made significant strides, with its thrust increasing from 46 kilonewtons to 49 to 50 kilonewtons in recent tests, comparable to the performance of F404 engines. The latest iteration, which incorporates an advanced afterburner section developed from scratch by BrahMos Aerospace, is expected to generate up to 80 kilonewtons of thrust. The Indian Air Force and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited are collaborating on flight tests, which are set to begin on the MiG-29, chosen for its suitability as a test bed to assess the engine's performance in real flight conditions. These tests will subject the Kaveri engine to rigorous evaluations, including performance under varied flight conditions, engine reliability, and endurance, ensuring it meets the operational demands of modern fighter jets. With continued development, the Kaveri engine could enable India to power both indigenous fighters and potentially exportable aircraft. This would provide a strategic advantage by reducing reliance on foreign engine suppliers and enhancing India's self-sufficiency in defense technology.